Why did I tell you to bring a pen and paper? Incredibly important. It's not just for the note-taking aspect of the interview, but there's an amount of research that you should have done before the interview, well before the interview, to better prepare yourself for any type of questions that may come up. The first thing I recommend doing is researching the company. Now, there's a couple of ways that you can do this. The first way, and the ambitious way, is to actually go try to find a way to immerse yourself in the culture. Now, this applies for college as well. Before you apply for a position, before you apply at a college, or before you accept a position or accept a position at a college, go find a park bench, go find a cafe, go find a way that you can immerse yourself in the culture so you can see what type of people you're going to be around for the rest of your life, assuming you choose this as a career. Find out how they dress, find out how they communicate. Just see how the culture operates, and you are going to be in better shape for the interview. When you walk into the interview, if you feel like you're immersed in the culture, like you're already familiar with the culture, it becomes a less alien environment. If you don't have a chance to do that in person, you've got the interwebs. If you take out that little QWERTY keyboard thing and you look at that place that you're normally playing video games, and you go to the Google machines and you type in the name of the company, guess what? You can find out probably just about everything you would want to know about an organization. But look at every page. Try to understand the greater dynamic of the organization. You'd be surprised how many things you can pack away into that brain of yours that could very well come up in an interview. Learn about the culture. Learn about their values. Find out if they have a mission statement. If they have a mission statement, you can actually absorb that information and be prepared to share how your values happen to match the organization that you're applying for. Another thing, job description. With the job description, if you applied for the job, you obviously feel like you're qualified for it, but nobody is 100% qualified for any position. It's great to note all the things on your pad and paper. Note all the things that you feel that you are qualified for or that you've done before, but also take the time to write down the things that you think you could learn more about or that you look forward to learning about. That's good language for an interview. Showing that you have room for growth in any position is a wonderful thing, and it will come up in an interview. Also write down any talking points, anything about you that if you had the opportunity in an interview to share, you would have them on a piece of paper, whether it be details about your certifications, whether it be special things that you learned while you were in school, volunteer work that you did, prior work experience. Have those things jotted down on a piece of paper. Also, take the time to write down any questions that you think would be good questions to ask when you're done with the interview. You want to avoid having conversations about compensation and benefits if it's already been clearly defined, or at least close to having been clearly defined. If you know what the salary range is, if you know what the basic benefits are going to be, avoid those questions as your final questions. There's a lot of questions that you can ask. Questions like, what's the length of the training period, and are there any certifications that come out of it? Is there opportunities for additional trainings? What could someone like me that's new to this entry-level position do to grow with the organization? Those are great questions because it shows that you're there not just for the money, but for the career path and making it a lifestyle. Another great question, and this is a trick of the trade, a question that I think everybody should ask, whether it be with an individual or with a board. Ask everybody what it is they like about the company. That gives them an opportunity to go, well, we have Taco Tuesdays, and we really like our boss, or the whatever. That gives them an opportunity to share what they like about the company, and it actually makes you more memorable because you took the time to ask them that question. Does that make sense? It should. Remember that question. Go ahead and write that one on your hand, because the rest of this, what I want you to do all your research. I don't want you to look at it until the day of your interview. I'm going to throw a word at you. If I haven't thrown it at you already, that word is rumination. Rumination can make or break an interview. Rumination actually comes from an old Latin term which means to chew on excessively. That means to go over information over and over and over in your head. It's essentially over preparation for what's going to be 20 minutes of your life. Now, if you've done all that research and you're going over it, and you're going over how you're going to answer the questions, what types of information you're going to interject. Guess what? In that interview, you have no control. You don't know what questions are going to be asked. You don't know if you're going to have an opportunity to have those talking points. Get rid of it. I don't want you to look at it. Don't even look at it until right before the interview itself. That way the information is fresh in your brain and you haven't spent the time ruminating, losing sleep, reciting things in your head that could very well never come into existence. Do not ruminate.